Hi, I'm Caroline the Ball, and today I want to talk to you about the secret force that controls your results. Now, that might sound a little bit woo-woo, but bear with me, and I promise you that over the next few minutes, it's going to make a lot more sense. So if you saw my previous video, I actually talked about, this secret force that controls why most people fail at their New Year's resolutions and actually why they fail at achieving most of their goals. And the name of this secret force is a paradigm. And so to understand that, basically you need to know that there is a really simple formula when it comes to goal achievement. So the formula that's presented to us most commonly is that to achieve a goal, so to get a result, to get an outcome, you've got to take a series of actions, and those actions will cause different reactions to happen that produces that result. So it's sort of this, two-step process. And where people fall down is that often they don't take the right actions, or they're very inconsistent with their action taking. And so it doesn't produce the right reaction that delivers the result that they want. And so that seems pretty clear and simple. But the bit that most people don't know, and the reason that you may not know this, is that even most personal development doesn't teach this. So everyone's trying so hard to tell you to, get a better strategy, do another course, try and get you to, feel motivated to take more action, to take different actions. And what a lot of people don't know is that there is a driving force that controls your actions. And that's what a paradigm is. So if you're one of these people who has, missed your goals year in, year out, and you've reached the conclusion that, sadly, maybe it's me, maybe I'm a loser and I just can't do it, then the information that I'm about to share with you could change your life. So, if you have been saying things to yourself, like maybe it's me, maybe I'm a loser, then I'm going to tell you that you're half right. So you're not a loser, but it is you. And it's you to the extent that it's your paradigm that's controlling your actions and therefore your results. And so what is this mysterious paradigm? Well, quite simply, your paradigm is a collection of all of your habits and beliefs. And, these are either sort of passed down. They're things that we learn mostly when we're growing up. So usually before the age of 5 or 6. And, we learn these through mostly repetition. So things that occur over and over again, things that we heard people say when we were growing up, they actually become our beliefs if we don't challenge them. And so your paradigm ends up controlling, basically things like your logic, your perception. And this is a really interesting one because your paradigm controls whether you're very binary and, just like you sort of have a one-track mind, I guess, in your thinking, or whether you're open to many different points of view and you can, change your mind when new evidence sort of comes about. A paradigm also controls your productivity. So whether you're a person who gets things done or whether you waste a lot of time. And then the big kicker is that the paradigm controls whether you see yourself as somebody who can make money and achieve your goals, or whether, you're someone who can easily lose weight, or whether you put on weight all the time. So I know a lot of people have, weight loss and health goals. And that happens because, your paradigm is made up of things like your self-limiting beliefs or your empowering beliefs. And, it actually includes your entire self-image. So it's all the things about the way that you see yourself. And so this pull of the paradigm is so strong that it controls the actions that you take. And that's why people find that even though they write out this really clear and awesome action plan, they just can't follow through. It's like there's this really strong driving force that prevents you from taking that action. And it is a very real thing, but the challenge is that you can't see your paradigm because it lives in your subconscious mind. And so, again, this is why most people don't know that this thing is there. And so, although you can't see it, there is an image that I'm going to show you that I think explains a paradigm really, really well. And so I'm going to have my best go at doing a Weather Girl performance, and I'm going to put something up on the screen and then try to point to it in reverse. So, okay, hopefully you can see this. So, ta-da! Here's an image of what's inside a golf ball. So I don't know if you have ever cracked open a golf ball. I certainly haven't. I don't play golf. But, you know, a golf ball looks sort of shiny and white on the outside with like little grooves in it. But what you see here on the screen, this is what a golf ball looks like inside. And it's actually made up of like this bundle of really thick elastics that are all sort of wrapped and tied around each other in like fine little knots. And so it's really strongly intertwined. And so a good way to think of your paradigm is that it's, you know, it's like this golf ball. So on the outside, it just looks like a golf ball. And so that's, you know, who you think you are. But on the inside, it's actually made up of all these individual habits and beliefs that have formed over time, and they've formed this really tight bundle. And so that's why you hear people say things like, well, that's just how I am. You know, I can't help it if that's the way I've always been. And so to some extent that's true, because it feels like it's totally you at your core. And it's simply because you've just been this way for so long. So these are the habits and beliefs that you've collected, and you've just continued to, you know, let that run you for pretty much your whole life. And so whether that's good news or bad news for you really depends on whether it's serving you. So if you're one of these people who, you know, achieves all your goals, you make money really easily, you're in perfect shape, like life goes really well for you all the time, then, you know, you're one of the lucky ones. But for everyone else who's been missing their goals and wondering why, the key to achieving your goals is to learn how to change your paradigm so that it works for you. And so, you know, you may then be wondering, am I stuck this way? Like, is there anything I can do to change my paradigm, given it is so tightly held and intertwined? Like, if it is locked away inside this golf ball, can it be changed? And the truth is, the answer to that is that it's up to you. And I won't lie to you, changing a paradigm is quite difficult. So, you know, it doesn't happen easily, and it's because you will need to reverse this process of years and years of repetition of, you know, habits and beliefs that have formed over so long and have been reinforced over time. So that's what you're up against to change your paradigm. But, you know, it isn't impossible. And the truth is, if you want to change a paradigm, then you have to have a reason to change. And so it's sort of like, you know, some bits will be really easy to change. Like if you were to take, here we go, this golf ball, and you took a pair of scissors and you started snipping away at it, some of those elastics, like the sort of pattern of how they were formed, would just fall away. And this sort of represents, you know, you might come across a belief that you're like, oh, well, that's absolutely rubbish. I don't know why I ever told myself that. And so that part of your paradigm will just fall away really quickly because you've identified that, you know, it was a load of crap. Whereas there's other ones where you'll go, okay, I've got this, I can do this. You snip that elastic, you go to pull that elastic out, and it will not budge. Like, it is there, and it's hidden beneath so many other layers. And so that's going to take a bit more work, but that's okay. As long as you start that process, you can actually get there. But the big thing is you've got to have a reason to change. So this is why people say you need a big why, because there's hard work involved. There's times where you'll feel like giving up and it's going to be tough. But if you take consistent action and you commit and you persist with it, then it is totally possible to change your paradigm. And so, you know, just finally, it reminds me of this book that I read once, actually at the very start of my personal development journey. You know, this is like 17 years ago. And it was a book called The Dream Giver, and one of my mentors gave it to me. And it was about this beautiful story of a character called Ordinary. And it was about Ordinary's journey. He had these massive dreams and had no idea how he was going to achieve them. And so he set out just to do that and had to, you know, grow and encountered a lot of challenges along the way. And I remember getting to the end of that book and I actually just burst into tears because I could relate to it so much. And I thought, but I've got all these big dreams and I just don't see how I could ever achieve them. Like I'm not that person. I'm not cut out for these massive things. Like I'd have to be someone else. And you know what? The only thing that was true about that is that that's who I was at the time, because that's how I saw myself. And so the last 17 years have been this process of like sort of daring to dream, but allowing myself to grow and, you know, slowly chipping away at changing this paradigm. And it's really just in the last few years that I've worked out how you can change paradigms incredibly quickly. So that's what I want to share with you. And so to explore that further, you will have to tune into my next video where I'm going to talk to you about how your mind really works. So we're really going to dig in and explore the inner workings of the mind, and that's going to give you the information that you need to learn how to change your paradigm really quickly. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Caroline Labor, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.